Here we have the 1000 LED Premier Treebrights. They're our chosen favourite set of lights for various reasons, and I'll explain them to you. And this colour set is one that's relatively new for this year, and it's a really nice combination. It's actually four different colours. It's called Rainbow, and I'm going to just put them onto a setting which we can sort of see easier. What you've got is two combinations of colours on each channel, if you like. You've got a pink and an orange, and you've got a turquoise and a purple. So it makes a really great colour of set of colours, hex colours they would call them on the internet, or in graphic design, if you like. Stunning. The effect is fantastic, and there's 1000 LEDs here, spread over a lit length of 25 meters, and they are set at just 2.5 centimeters apart, so they're quite an intense set of lights, really, in that respect. There's enough lights here to fully dress a 7-foot Christmas tree, or of course any other format of lighting that you want to do with, which you can do with string lights. There's a number of I think there's 8 actually different chase patterns available, and it changes every time you press the button. So each time you can press the button, you find a new one, including a static one, which I personally like, especially for indoors. If if your Christmas tree is alongside the TV and you don't want it twinkling, the static can be a lot better and easier on the eye. Now, what you can do also with this is by holding the button down for 4 seconds, it'll eventually turn into a green illuminated button like that, and that means the timer is now on. Now what that does is it sets an 8-hour timer. It's a great system, very simple, and the lights will stay on for 8 hours. 8 hours time they'll go off, and then in 24 hours at exactly the same time as you started them today, they will come back on again. So it's just basically a plug and play situation. Once the timer's on, it's on, and that's it. If you don't want the timer, some people don't want the timer, some people want the lights on all day long, then what you can do is just hold that down again for 4 seconds and it'll eliminate the timer. Now if I just put that back on again, I'll just explain to you that these lights, once they're in the time zone, you can still change the patterns just like normal. So there's 2 functions really within that. Now another feature of this, which is an important one, a really important one, is the fact that this has got a memory. Now, if you look at this, this is a static setting at the moment. I'm going to unplug it, disconnect the power, I'm going to put it back in, and when it goes back in, it's back on that static memory. Let's do it again with something a little bit more twinkly. There we go, so you can see it's not because it was the first one. Turn the music off there. So basically we've got it twinkle there. Let's take the power off it, put it back on again, and it's back to twinkle. Now that is so important because even the Premier Treebrights of last year didn't have that function, and most lights don't, and many of the Chinese ones that do have the function, it doesn't work very well. This is really good. It's rock solid, and what it means is that really there's nothing more annoying if you have a power cut, or if you're using it off timer and you're switching the power off every day. You haven't got to go around the next day and start resetting, especially if you're using multiple sets of these, resetting every one because it's on the 4th one in the program. It just remains where it is, so you've not got to get behind the tree and do any of that pressing the buttons. You just do it and leave it, and that is so important. The other important thing is it's got a 5-meter lead in. That means that the 5-meter lead in cable, you can see it there, it means that you've got a chance of getting this out, and this has to stay indoors or in a waterproof place. So a lot of the Chinese again stuff, you'll get your lights and you think, oh, they're great, they're cheap, they're fine, but you've only got half a meter between there and you've got a problem. So you've got 5 meters there, and these are ultra super durable as well. We've done so many houses, properties over the years, and we really push the lights to the limit, and there's nothing worse than doing a display and then a week or 2 later the lights fail. Not only have you got to get new lights, you've got to go to the trouble of redoing the whole display, and it just is not necessary. These Premier lights, we paid a little bit more to have quality, and it's worth it. Nothing lasts forever, but they are the best you can get for the sort of prices that you're paying without having to get up to ultra expensive pro lights. And you know, the people are so conscious these days about the running costs, and it is important to be aware of those running costs. But this is the amazing thing. Premier have tested this exact set, this 1000 LED set, and we're in October when I'm doing this video, 2022, and we're in an energy crisis, and the government had just capped the kilowatt per hour rate of electricity at 35 pence. That means when it works out that to run these lights, this whole 1000 set of lights for the whole of the Christmas period, 30 days let's say, not just every day, the whole of the period, will cost less than 50 pence. That is pennies for what you get. If you ran 5 sets of these, it would cost you less than £2.50 for the whole Christmas season, and that's 5 of these is quite a lot of lights, you know. So then what I'm going to do also, I want to just show you this colour, because I'm really impressed with this colour. Let's plug it in. This is another combination that has been brought out. And what this is this is a combination of the traditional bright white and the warm white put together, and what it does, I'll just slow that down there, it actually gives you a lovely combination. In the past you could either get warm or you could get bright white. You couldn't get them both. Now they're together, and basically it's got all the other functions. It's got the same functions as the rainbow one has got. It's just, I wanted to show you just because I'm so impressed with the colours and the effects that you can get. They look beautiful on garlands, Christmas trees, stuff like that, you know, down in hedgerows and what have you. So that's it. Basically it gives you an indication of these lights. They are really good, and you know, don't fool yourself by buying cheap rubbish. Don't fool yourself by buying old stock. Make sure you get the best lights that you can afford, because it will be worth it for you. It'll be worth it in the durability, and it'll be worth it in the cost of running them. So they are the Premier 1000 LED 25 meter lit length Treebrights, and they will do a 7-foot tree or whatever display you want to do with them. Have a great Christmas.